Welcome back, as we've taken another call from Cthulhu. And tonight we are joined by our investigators, though one seems to have fallen into a deeper slumber, unable to wake up from the nightmares of the previous night.
That's dumb.
So, with us today, we have
Kurt Cobain.
Kevin as Darren Prescott.
Sorry. I can't.
Kurt Cobain.
What?
In spirit, maybe.
He's not dead yet.
Well, yeah.
No, he's also not born yet.
Do you guys think I'm gonna die? Is that the joke here?
Oh, it's my end game.
No.
Yeah.
Good boy.
well, next we also have
Great joke, I'm gonna tell you later.
Is that the computer? So I don't know where I go in this.
No,
Go.
don't worry.
Just go, Logan.
Yeah, you can go.
Oh, well, I'm Logan playing Walter Hart.
And that line right there, that's why he's the best player out of all of us.
I don't know where I
Garrett playing Lennon Armstrong. Manservant.
Manservant. Oh,
I
God,
fucking
that
hate it.
wording.
Stalwart manservant.
Oh, God.
It makes it worse and better all at the same time. Saying
Makes
like
it
that.
classier.
Does it?
Yeah.
Stalwart.
Ooh. I don't know.
How
This
many
son
people
bitch.
do you know who use the term stalwart on a regular
No,
basis?
no, it's not that part. It's still saying manservant.
Mm.
Yeah. Something about that's just.
Do you want Stalwart?
Because he
Gigolo?
serves men.
Man.
I like this better. Celeste playing as Dr. Lady Francesca.
Manservant is a whore. Manservant is at least a concubine.
Yeah.
Well, at this point of time, we do find ourselves still just within the household of Mr. Darren Prescott,
So,
joined by his manservant,
Stalwart.
stalwart
Manservant.
manservant, Lennon Armstrong.
you want this campaign to stay on track, you better use the S.
Also, so are you paying him a salary at this point?
If not, I take one.
He's probably getting double paid.
All
No,
right.
no, I'm an honest man. When I
So-
open the wallet and there's 2 5s, I'm like, I'll take one.
Being that he started as a hobo, would you like to transfer any of your credit rating to him as his payment?
Ooh.
Ooh.
I just buy
Yours
crack.
is 0, right?
It is 0.
What? Sorry, it hit me as to what you actually said.
He is
What?
genuinely penniless.
Yeah.
I will,
But he is not houseless right now.
No, I got a house. I don't need money.
yeah, no, he's fine. He's fine.
Maybe we could start smoking.
If you're not paying it, he's probably at least stealing one of it from you.
I would say
I'll put 1.
I would say I'm paying him. You know, I pay for services, and
But it's probably.
if we need something, it's like, oh, hey, can you go, get this from the shop or whatever. It's like, I pay for it, and we need food. Here's money. It's
Yeah.
It's a
My basic necessity. I
share.
put 1 in credit rating. So.
Yeah.
I'm the oldest who gets to keep the change when doing the run for mom.
yeah. Oh.
All right. So yeah, at least of your
All
credit
me?
rating by, was it at 0 initially?
Yeah.
Okay. Then
Hobo.
yeah, at least put it at 1. Because yeah, you have solid monetary gains at this point.
It is now possible for me to roll and succeed in credit rating. It was impossible.
You formed your 1 credit rating.
Yeah.
You put salt in the bubble?
And now, since
Yeah,
we are
that's
finding
like big
ourselves at
money.
the beginning of this next section of the book,
What is-
though it's still within the same subgroup, let's go ahead and make some improvement rolls. And do not forget to do your luck
Fuck
improvement.
yeah.
Alright. Our luck every session.
Yes.
Yes.
I'll do luck first again.
Yeah, let's give luck a whirl here. 35.
Why did I roll a 7?
77.
Nice. I
That's
rolled
an
an
increase.
88 out of 65, so.
53 out of 60. I do not increase my luck.
Lady Luck says you
By
have
9.
enough.
My luck has gone up like
Okay.
tenfold.
Craft artifact or literature roll. This thingy.
I was gonna say craft artifacts. Are you an artificer? now?
It's art craft. I
Ah.
read it backward. Nope, that does not improve my dodge.
Goddamn.
Ooh,
Do you remember what my starting luck was? It was really bad, wasn't it?
I thought so.
I only rolled low on all of my checks.
I got an 83
Oh,
for
man.
my dodge check, so I do get an improvement here. Of 9! It's a
Okay.
D10, right?
Yes.
Okay. Fighting brawl.
Ooh, do you have spare pencils? All I have is
And our improvements have to be
Pen.
under, right?
No.
Over. Okay.
over.
Good.
One time rolling high is good.
Good, because that 100 would have really sucked later. Up by 6. All right. I'm better at punching people.
For all except one I have improved on so far.
Well, I improved at nothing. I rolled like 16 was the highest roll I did.
It means you're perfect.
It means tonight you will be on fire.
Oh,
Moving forward, however.
I rolled a 70 out of 70 for listen. Damn it.
Damn, you almost got better at hearing things.
Yeah. Psychoanalysis. Oh, I've had it.
History check.
I was gonna say, you're probably improving on psychoanalysis.
It was 1. It is now 7.
Listen check.
You learned quite a bit
That one does improve.
from Dr. Highsmith.
Rambling.
Yep.
Another 9. Christ, that's
And
super
there's
My
a
sister
fail
says
for
someone
sleight of
being
hand.
eviscerated isn't that big of a deal.
And a mega fail for spot hidden. Okay.
Yeah, I failed at improving my spot hidden as well. I rolled like a 17 out of 60.
I'm better at punching. That's it. Oh, and psychoanalysis, but
My psychoanalysis also improved to 4.
My psychoanalysis.
The hobo learned
does
more
get to
about
improve.
psychoanalysis than you did.
yeah, I'm at 7.
6.
Almost twice as much as you know.
My psychoanalysis is now also 7.
Ah, see?
Yeah.
You guys talked afterwards, and
You're like,
that's
that
how...
was fucking crazy.
Shut up.
My
But yeah,
character
it
isn't
was.
like my intelligence is only 55, as well as my education. Like that I'm a doctor is impressive.
You're smarter and
My
more
intelligence
educated
is 80. My education is 80.
I just didn't have
I
to.
should be the doctor.
I just didn't have to apply myself very hard
You
to
chose
get
the
the
wrong
success.
career.
It's true.
I-
What's your
that's-
appearance?
20.
Yeah, you were so.
You were like...
You were the goblin in class that they were just like, oh, you passed.
You were a
Just
great
please go
war-
away.
You were a great war nurse who did so well, they just gave you your doctorate.
What?
Maybe
That
there's
was
something we
mostly
could
just-
work out. Like,
It was
yep, here
in
you go.
the war that I gained
Go.
all the scars to lose all of the appearance.
Yeah, and where you gained the medical knowledge.
No, my psychology.
You
does not
miraculously
increase.
saved a bunch of people by dumping alcohol on the amputations. It did wonderful for them. They didn't die.
Oh shit, it's still
This is
set
the
up for
Great
Vampire
War
the
we're
Masquerade.
talking about. Like, they knew a little bit past just putting alcohol on it. Not a lot.
That's internet.
No, I
What
wasn't
are you doing
dropping
with that
dirt
alcohol?
in it.
It's gonna kill the leeches.
Yeah.
Oh yeah,
Or
sorry.
get
You,
him drunk.
you knew a little bit about how to help them, so you gave them a swig and then poured it on. So, if everyone has finished making their improvements,
Yes. Let me.
There was no such improvement. happening
Sanity
here.
as well,
How
though?
about your luck?
No, that's
Nope, failed that too.
at the very end.
Nope. Failed
Yeah.
that too.
there has been no given sanity rewards at this point.
Because we haven't done shit.
Yeah, that is
I rolled a
oh,
7
hold on,
real
some other
quick.
stuff.
And for the most part, you
Logan.
guys haven't suffered too much, except for.
Don't let Logan roll tonight. He's burned every good roll he has.
All on improvement check.
All right.
One.
All
I
5
can't have any more than that because it has walnuts in there.
Oh, I'm sorry.
You're good.
I didn't even look at that. I was just like,
The
here we
stuff
go.
on top is crushed up walnuts.
Now I
It's
feel
classic for a carrot cake, but also raisins are classic for a carrot cake too. Which is my preference. It keeps it extra moist.
bad. You know, I feel bad.
Well, you guys have found yourselves at, well, at
Here's
least
some shit you're allergic
Darren
to.
and Lennon are at Darren's house this Monday. Well, it'd be getting to mid-morning as of now, getting close to the afternoon. And you have recently just learned a lot.
It's true.
Currently, what you did learn
Dr.
is
Trollope
that
was murdered.
Dr. Trollope was murdered on his nightly jog. And before this happened, he had sent you a letter. And this letter did state that he knew of his death coming, or at least he had foreseen it.
I bet he was shocked when it happened in real life.
Oh,
Where he
most
was
certainly.
like, I fucking knew it.
I've seen this.
And things that you have learned from the letter were that he was very concerned about the release of Alexander Robbie.
Mm-hmm.
Though he didn't feel comfortable sharing everything with Dr. Highsmith, as he knows that Dr. Highsmith is invested, but he's unsure for whatever reason. But what he does know is that Alexander Robbie wrote Der Wander durch den See, The Walker by the Lake, which talks of Carcosa. You learned that he was in league with a Lawrence Bacon, an occultist.
Antique merchant in Liverpool.
Mm-hmm.
An American by that name.
You learned that this was found by one Vincent Tuck, an investigator who was hired by Graham Robbie to follow his brother before everything had happened.
Before the murders.
Before the murders.
Now, he also wrote the book before the murders as well.
Yes.
That I did not know.
I wasn't aware of the timeline either. I was, honestly, this whole time, I was assuming he wrote the book while in the asylum.
Nope. He wrote it before the murders.
Okay.
So this death was foreseen long before it happened.
No, the death was found out while he was in the asylum.
Yes.
He
So
mentioned-
it was like a
Oh,
vision
walking
when he
by the
went
lake
to visit
thing.
him.
Trollope had
The-
witnessed his death.
Yeah, that was recent.
Yes, that was in the asylum.
The Walker by the Lake book, which
Has been around for a minute, apparently.
yeah,
Yes.
I thought that was very recent as well.
No, what he had mentioned is that in his stupor within the asylum, he mentions more that calls back to this book that he wrote. He seems to be more fixated on it. And then the only other things you've learned about the murder from this letter was that there was, of course, the murderer who he described as a sharp.
Detailed individual.
Mhm. And that his last vision was that of a white-faced paperboy.
Yes.
Yeah, 2 stab wounds to the
A sharp-faced man, quite tall.
Yeah, tall man, blonde coat, as suspect.
Keep still, please, sir, were the last things he said. And then Dr. Trollope felt a sharp pain and was falling.
They can't stand. I know this.
The keep still, please, sir, is what he last heard.
Yeah.
The last words before he
Pass.
felt a sharp pain. And he tried to call out to the white-faced paperboy to exclaim he was all right before he could no longer make that exclamation. And so, with all of this new information and your recent interview with Detective Taylor,
Yeah.
Yep.
Oh my, get Sonic to join.
Hello?
What sorcery is this?
Hey. The stream is open right now. You're good. I think she just hung up.
She might have thought we were still starting at 7. So,
Keep
with,
going on Messenger.
yeah, with this knowledge in hand, do you guys start reaching out to people?
What do you think? Should we try and get the band back together, so to speak, as the kids say, and see what we can find out?
Hold on here.
Logan's side.
I'm muted, Logan. Yeah. I mean, this is for a coincidence a little too far-fetched even. We're invested at this point. We might as well be invested fully.
What are we going to go and investigate?
Is there anything like this in that book you've been reading?
I don't think there's anything like this really specifically in the
Weird
No.
shit.
Nothing.
Carcosa or anything like that.
Yeah, there was nothing written in the annotated version of the
Yeah.
King in Yellow.
I'm just saying, I'm all for us continuing this investigation, but I feel like a plan or some thought into where we're going and what we're trying to find out would be helpful
Yeah.
before we just walk blindly into the dark. So we have, we could always go to St. James Park, investigate the scene. I'm not sure if that would really give us any information other than just
You would hope
see what the
Scotland,
we could at least see what Dr. Trollope saw right before he died. Might give us some insight into something. Then there's also this Mr. Lawrence Bacon on Liverpool Road. Supposed to be an antique merchant. And we could try and track down Mr. Vincent Tuck, this private investigator.
What time of day is it?
Currently, you are mid-morning.
Mid-morning.
Mm-hmm.
Well, we could try and get a hold of Tuck to set a meeting, and then in the meantime, go to the park. It's not too late in the day, we could still get them both done, but
That's true.
I do not know how busy our compatriots can be. Well, the actress is doing nothing, I know that, but
And this happened on a Sunday or Monday? Monday.
This all came about on a Monday. We're currently on a Monday.
Okay.
Specifically, Monday the 4th.
I don't know if a reporter has gotten their teeth into the area, but our critic might be able to make something out of this. At least get us access if we struggle to.
Okay.
Then if just going to these spots, I have no idea where I can go. I don't know why.
Alright. Yeah,
We're
let's,
getting involved in this whether we want to or not. So.
It does certainly seem like we are in the middle of it.
That letter directly to us, kind of SOL.
Yeah.
Because if the killer finds out,
They could think we know something.
well, we do. That's the problem. We know a description
We
of
do.
it.
We know stuff.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. Let's spend the next couple of minutes trying to assemble the party.
Light the beacon! I'd like to shoot a flaming raccoon into this guy.
Carry out glorious.
That is a heck of a beacon.
Glorious!
I will be
And the
right back.
body gases of the raccoon explode.
Well, I stuffed it with something, but I don't know what.
Honestly, that sounds a little bit more concerning than giving me what you stuffed it with.
Mm-hmm.
So,
I
yes.
chose my words.
you guys are able to either get a phone call out to people directly, such as Lady Francesca, and you got messages out to the apartment buildings, of which the critic and the actress are at. Whether they received the message or not is hard to tell, but likely they would have reached their rooms.
If not, we know where they live.
And what message was this again?
Simple.
Yes, you are being assembled by
There she is.
by Darren and Lennon. They called out to your apartment building to get you a message to meet up at Darren's as soon as possible. Or I'm assuming Darren's, correct?
It'd probably be best if we all went together.
Yeah.
At least for our sake, because we got the letter.
So yes, you are to meet at Darren's home.
Hey. Don't hurt that. We're gonna tell
So, as all of you arrive to, how nice is your home, Darren?
Oh, it's yeah. It's a home.
A nice, tall, English home?
You
You know what a trailer is? No.
I don't think it's, it's not horrible. It's, there's enough room that, Lennon and Darren don't sleep in the same frickin' bed or anything, but
You think we do?
cuddles up like a little hobo cat at the end of the bed.
Can't let my meal check out of my sight.
So, yes, you all gather at Darren's place.
It's not extravagant, but
Yeah,
Wait until you come to the house and with the doctor.
a kindly home.
Oh,
homely home.
fade back out.
So,
Yeah,
with you all there, he might think he's having sound issues because he's still muted, is he not?
He's not muted.
Oh,
No,
okay.
that's what all the background sound is.
Okay.
Yeah.
So,
I randomly turn people on and off. It's the power I wield.
so you've all been gathered, and I'm assuming information has been shared with everyone.
Nope.
Oh,
Not
okay.
at all.
They don't get to know a damn thing.
Thanks for showing up. Yay.
All right. Yeah.
The
you-
party.
I told you they don't do nothing.
Yes, we summoned you all over here just to see if we could.
I'll let you know who's really calling the
It
shots.
took me all day to get here. You fucker.
What were you doing? Bad mouthing some poor bastard's dance?
This doctor doesn't
Nah,
need to be
I'll be
summoned for a
running
couple more days for
Dr.
surgery.
Highsmith. He pissed me off.
A slam piece. Well, this goat molesting bastard.
What?
Is killing all of his orderlies. I
Holy shit.
That's not slander. That's a flat out lie.
I don't know that. He could have killed those people.
The fact you don't
Killing
know
them
it.
with kindness.
Dr. Highsmith plans on
He
releasing
just
dangerous
does it like a
criminals.
modern day clickbait article. So he's not literally killing them, but his kindness, however.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Love to
Oh.
death. The
The
Dr.
guy just killed his
No, it's-
workers.
Is everyone assembled?
Yes.
I would say I'm definitely there.
Sana, are you there?
Was there food promised?
Absolutely. Yes, I had
Then
Lennon.
Get them there.
I had Lennon prepare some of his amazing cucumber sandwiches.
I took
I
the
don't want to know
skins
what's
off
in the
most of
sauce. I don't want to know what's in the dressing on it.
Mm.
them. It's bread and a cucumber.
We have everyone over just in time for tea.
Oh,
Perfect.
Oh, yeah,
Yes.
tea time.
So,
So it's hot water.
Actually,
just
I'm gonna go.
it's just hot water.
What are cucumbers and bread?
Yeah, you put the cucumbers in the tea, and all of a sudden
Irish breakfast blend.
you got rich water.
Lady Grey.
Do you have anything non-caffeine?
Let me look.
That's the most un-American thing
I
you've
have
ever
hot
said.
chocolate.
I'm trying to.
Do you have any herbals?
I get it, I haven't drank
blueberry
coffee
pineapple
in a
green
week.
tea that technically still
I've
has
had
caffeine
one
in it,
Pepsi
I would
so
love
far
that
this
one.
week.
Yeah.
I know it's only Wednesday, but that's still a big thing for me.
I have
Oh,
black
yeah, I
raspberry
understand.
tea as well.
I drink Dr.
Which
Pepper like
Black
water,
raspberry
man.
Yeah.
tea. That's a black tea.
But a few days ago,
That one's probably higher.
I
caffeine,
received
but
a letter
protein.
from our friend Dr. Trollope. If you remember, we spoke to him before we went out to Hartford and visited Alexander Robbie at the asylum.
Yeah, is he still taking those unguarded walks in the dark?
Funny you should mention that.
What an ominous way of saying midnight walk.
Indeed.
Maybe I killed him. Who knows?
I received
I
a
attacked
phone
him.
call from Scotland Yard here just, what was it, yesterday?
Well, it'd
First
be
thing this
today.
morning.
Yeah.
Today.
Yes, it was this morning.
Earlier this morning, I received a call from Scotland Yard informing me that Dr. Trollope was killed a couple of nights ago while on a walk through St. James Park. And
my.
Well,
shortly after that phone call, I received a letter from said deceased doctor that was mailed just after he died. According to the letter, he had a lot more reservations about the release of Alexander Robbie than he felt he could share with us openly when we first spoke. And in this letter, he conveyed quite a bit more information. He mentioned that Alexander Robbie is actually the man who wrote a book known as The Walker by the Lake.
Got some German title.
Yeah, I can't.
Der Wander durch den See. I'm
Yep,
still probably
that one.
butchering it.
That was for you, son.
Yeah.
All I have to do is ask
with
her
my
cousin, you can
insane
make
German
German
skill, I bet I can translate it.
Translates to The Walker by the Sea.
We already translated.
To be fair, Dutch and German are pretty close.
Yeah.
So yeah,
My character would know a little bit.
you could kind of make out what the title is. I mean, trying to actually read the book, it would be a little more difficult, but at least the title, you can make that out.
But
Yeah.
the book itself was written a little while, well, quite a bit while before the event of the murders that took place. And
Wait. You say der Wanderer auf der See, but isn't that the play we just recently watched? That sounds very, very, very familiar.
the play is an adaptation of a book that was written as an adaptation of The Wanderer by the Sea. So it is all quite very interconnected, which is why it's troublesome and worth investigating.
Which would explain why he would know the lines of the play he's never seen.
Mm-hmm.
Yes. Apparently, he was also partnered with a man named Mr. Lawrence Bacon. He's an antique merchant who apparently has a shop of some kind on Liverpool Street. Liverpool Road.
Now, didn't you say that the letter got sent right after he got murdered?
Well, most likely
Who would
by
send
his...
a letter like that in his name?
It could be his secretary or someone from his office.
Probably sealed and set forth for the morning to be picked up and delivered.
Yes.
Ah, fair enough.
These lavender honey things.
Sure.
Those are actually really good.
I hadn't had any of them.
But yes, this letter also vividly depicts
Yeah, I
the
thought your
scene in which
tea
the
would
good
enjoy sweetness,
the good man gets
Murdered.
ganked. Yeah.
Yes. Apparently, one of the things that he did not share with us was when Dr. Trollope went and visited Mr. Robbie himself. While he was in the room with Alexander Robbie, he claims to report having a vision in which he was walking through St. James Park until he was approached by a thin, sharp-faced man, very tall, who then proceeds to stab him. And the last thing he saw was a white-faced paperboy as he died in the street. This is exactly how we've been informed that Dr. Trollope died, 2 days ago?
Mm-hmm. Yep.
4 days ago.
Oh,
Yes,
wait.
the
A
murder took-
thin-faced, tall man. Does that sound anything like the doctor we've been talking to?
No, it sounds very different from Dr. Highsmith.
He was a short-faced,
something
round
he's done.
motherfucker.
Yeah.
Did
He died
any
on
of
the
the
31st.
orderlies fit
You
that
got the info on the
description?
4th.
I do not recall.
Huh.
That
I ignored
Evans guy.
Yeah. But
Yeah, or the head nurse or orderly, what was his name? Or was that Evans? No, Price. Wasn't it Price?
I thought Price was the note taker.
the.
Oh,
I can't remember.
then I can't
No,
remember.
Mr. Reeds is the stenographer.
Yeah.
Mr. Reeds, yes.
Yeah, it was Price that was with us
Yeah.
when we interviewed Robbie, I think. Wasn't it?
Was
I
it
think
that
so.
one?
Reeves was there.
And then I believe Price was the one that accompanied you, and Evans was the other orderly that you met who just got yelled at.
Yes, Price and Reeds were with us during the interview.
So, Lennon and I thought it prudent to at least gather the rest of you and share this information, seeing as Dr. Trollope was murdered, and then he sent us a letter giving us this information. It's fair to assume that, if someone murdered him, it's quite possible that they're aware that all of us actually met with the man also, so all of us could be potentially in danger.
Haven't you been saying for a couple of days now that there's been suspicious happenings around you? Phone calls and strange cars?
Yes, but I didn't think anything of it. I definitely didn't think murder was possible. I mean, who just stabbed someone in London?
It's possible. Big shocker there.
Street violence.
But it's possible that
Shut up,
you've
Logan.
been watched by the same people who did this.
It's definitely possible, but that's why Prescott reaches out a hand and just claps Lennon on the shoulder. That's why my good friend here is always nearby.
Yep.
Well, at least you're never alone. That's good.
Oh, I leave him alone a lot.
What?
I mean, yes. Vigilant.
You're vulnerable most of the time.
Look at him, he's vulnerable all the time.
But we did think it was prudent to inform all of you as well that you could potentially be a target.
Well, that's very thoughtful of you, Miss Prescott.
But of course, I am a gentleman. Hey, pay for stuff for him.
That's being considered a gentleman or just a normal person.
Not all of us have a whole bunch of money, Miss Francesca.
Doctor.
Lady
Yes.
Francesca.
This lady is the first name. Not just the
It's
title.
not the title?
No.
Lady Francesca? That's confusing.
Doctor.
But you're a woman.
Doctor.
A woman
Well-
doctor.
Well then, so where do we find ourselves going to?
Yes,
The bar.
that
Alright,
is a
which
question.
one?
If we do wish to continue this investigation, as I believe most of us do, where do we feel that is taking us at this point in time?
You know, I've read somewhere that murderers always revisit the place of the murder.
The feeling of power.
Might have been
Well,
written
that's
in your
scary.
book.
Should be really
Hey, it
good.
might have been written in my book, yeah. That's just something some bullshit artist made up. I don't know.
Huh.
I don't know. I've gone.
Alright.
No, that is a good
Perhaps we
point.
should
I
go
actually,
see this antiquarian that Mr. Trollope mentioned in his letter.
I also mentioned taking a look at St. James Park earlier, but the
Split the
antiquarian,
park.
I feel like it's coming.
No. Well, the park can be visited about any time, but the antique store will have hours of operation,
That's true.
and there will be a way we should go about visiting.
Before that, though, on our way to the antique store, perhaps we should put out feelers to see if we can't find any information about this Mr. Vincent Tuck.
Tuck.
He's a private investigator.
Oh, yeah.
Apparently, Graham Robbie hired him to do some looking into Alexander before the murders and everything had occurred.
Uh-huh. The man might know something, you're right.
We can at least try and set up a meeting or an appointment with him before we head to the antiquarian.
Very true. All right. Well,
Should be easy enough to do. It's a private eye.
see if he has an office
Or
somewhere.
an office or something.
Check with the operator.
Yes, I will do that.
All right. Yeah, it's let's see here. I'm trying to see if it actually gives me.
If they try to call him, the number is
1.
It is easy to find out where he's at. You're able to look him up in a phone book.
a whole book.
Such
Yeah, imagine
information.
the phone
at our
book's pretty
fingertips.
small.
And yes, he lives in the town of Wapping, south of the London Docks.
77 to just go there.
And it gives an exact address that it gives me the description of what he's by, but no actual address. Cause you guys
So
know
more
where
indirect.
you guys know where the stationer's premises is in Wapping. He lives right next to that.
Perfect.
If we're
Yeah.
from around the area, we
Yeah.
should know
Oh,
something.
I know that address. It's by the stationer's house.
So yes,
Wonderful.
We did it.
you see that it is located right there, as well as right on top of a bar. His office is.
So
on
it
the
is
upper
an
building.
office. It's not like a home.
It could be both. There is no separate listed living quarters.
Okay.
He's a private eye. He probably sleeps under his desk.
Or it's a pull-down desk or something.
Bed.
Yeah, that one. File cabinets. I'm very, I very much get the Roger Rabbit vibes. You know what I mean?
It's just a toilet. Efficiency.
Did you just say redneck vibes?
Yes.
Roger Rabbit.
It's a movie.
So yeah, it'll be pretty easy to look him up and visit him. Yet today, if you were to take a train to that part of town.
Well, do we want to go try and see the private eye, or do we want to go see the antiquarian first?
Well, wasn't the private eye watching the antiquarian, or am I mistaken in this?
No, the private eye was investigating Alexander Robbie.
He
Ah,
is
and
the
isn't
lead.
the antiquarian a friend of Alexander?
Yeah.
Correct.
Yes, he.
A known acquaintance.
Vincent Tuck was the one to get that information and pass
Then I
it
think
along.
we should talk to the investigator first.
Get a
That's a fair point.
overview of what we're walking to.
But yeah, it might give us some topics to bring up to Mr. Tuck. Wait, not Tuck. Behind the other guy's name, Bacon. Mr. Bacon.
I hear that if you take any person in the world, you can connect them to Vincent Bacon with like 5 people or less or something like that. I don't know.
You mean Lawrence Bacon?
Yeah, Lawrence Bacon.
I'm like, I don't know who you're referencing there.
Really?
I know. I have no idea.
Kids. It's the game. It's 5 Degrees of Kevin Bacon. You could take any actor that's ever existed and link them to Kevin Bacon by like 4 or 5 different people or less. Everyone is connected to Kevin Bacon.
Please tell me this isn't our travel discussions. I don't know who the fuck you're talking about.
I was about to say, Kevin Bacon isn't even born yet. In this
No,
era.
it's a
He
joke.
might be some
That's why it's a
sort of
joke.
immortal creature.
But yeah, no, I'd heard of something about like a certain number of connections to be able to have it be connected to a certain person, just not Kevin Bacon.
Yeah, it's how I've always heard it was Kevin Bacon.
Was it just like acquaintance and or met, or
Okay,
like
fuck is the movie?
Well,
I
at any
personally,
rate,
I personally can't think of one, but I'll give you an example later.
okay.
Yeah.
before we get into a tangent about Kevin Bacon,
Kevin Bacon!
we could talk about him all night.
Goddamn American treasure.
So, to
Oh, and
Vincent Tuck,
Footloose
the
and,
investigator.
Yes. To the investigator.
All right. Well, yeah, heading over to East
pretzels are
London's. To East London,
No, you're fine.
it doesn't take long.
Oh, dude.
A train ride gets you right over there, and you find yourselves at about the middle of the afternoon. You find yourselves walking down the street to find a nice high-rising building, a few different stories. You see a set of stairs that leads right down to the street where you guys are at. Attached is a string to a bell that would ring up by the door. But you can also see that the string is just limp and tied to the railing up by it. Clearly, it has been in disrepair for some time.
Okay. Is there any like notice or placard or anything? There's not like, Vincent Tuck, Dick, or anything like that written anywhere?
You just see Vincent Tuck and the apartment number that is upstairs.
Okay.
And the matching office or apartment number up above.
All right. Yeah, let's head up there.
Alright. You guys walk yourselves in.
Who should lead and or knock on the door?
Yeah, well, I'm up to the door, I mean.
And
Is it
yeah,
gonna shove 'em out of
the
the way?
door is kind of dingy through the glass, but you can see that the door is just unlocked. And you can see within the dingy glass it says Vincent Tuck, P.I.
P.I. I think this is the place. I will knock on the door.
No answer.
Intriguing. I'll check if the door's
I'll
unlocked.
knock on the door ever so slightly louder.
Oh, I was just gonna try and walk
The
in.
door is unlocked.
Cool. I'm just gonna try and walk in.
Before we walk in all the way, does the lock seem to be forced in any way, shape, or form?
Not that you can tell. Everything does appear to be up to spec.
Okay.
And as you open up the door, you get a stale smell in the air. One that kind of mixes with the smell of sweat and sweet gin. You see,
A real detective.
you see at the desk right in the center of the room, there is a shorter, heavier weight man with slightly balding hair in a three-piece suit as he gets up. Oh, hello, Vincent Tuck, P.I. As he stands up, you see him kind of look over at some filing cabinets back in the corner as there's an open bottle of gin at the top of them. Well, hello. How can I help
Hello, Dr. Lady Francesca.
you? Lady Francesca.
Darren Prescott.
Darren Prescott, as he shakes your hand.
Shake his hand.
He starts kind of stepping back a little bit. And what brings you into my office today?
Well, Mr. Tuck, we are in a bit of a pickle, I guess you could say.
A pickle. So he opens up a
Ah.
filing cabinet door, just drops the bottle in and shuts it.
Like
Oh.
your liver is trying to be right now.
Yeah.
Dr. Francesca.
I'm blunt. I am ugly as hell with these scars. I am not caring.
He shuts the file and just walks back over to his desk. A case.
Yes. Are you familiar with a Dr. Trollope?
Dr. Trollope. No, can't say I am.
Well, he was an acquaintance of ours, and he was murdered a couple of nights ago.
Yeah, about 4
or 5 nights ago.
Murder, you
In
say?
St. James Park. He gave us some information, or, well, wrote a note to me.
Well, let me
before he
interrupt you.
passed.
I will say I do work on retainers, so before we go over everything, should I give you my rates? I'm assuming I'm looking into his death.
I will deal with the rates currently. We can discuss this after this meeting.
She is a doctor.
Well, fair enough. Okay.
We're in like
Well-
a super nice like dress suit right now.
Well, go on.
Financier
Well,
at this point.
a part of us, we are curious about his death also, but in the letter that he sent to me, he wrote it just before he died. We were in the process, we became acquainted with... Blah.
Let it say, I do hope you wrote it before he died.
Yes.
Otherwise, I'll have more questions.
So would we. Although this makes plenty of questions on its own.
We became acquainted with Dr. Trollope at the bequest of another doctor who wanted a professional opinion on a matter concerning the release of a psychiatric patient that we believe you are aware of, Mr. Alexander Robbie.
Oh, okay. Yes.
Dr. Trollope was one of the people who helped to diagnose, treat, I guess. You know, he knew Alexander Robbie. And before his death, he wrote to us with additional information that he had neglected to share with us upon our first meeting, with concerns and other such things he didn't feel comfortable telling us at the time. One of which was to mention you, Mr. Vincent Tuck. He knew that you had investigated Alexander Robbie in the past, I believe at the bequest of his brother.
Okay.
Secret Keeper,
Yes.
does this investigator seem to be very tall and sharp-faced?
No. He
No,
is
he is
almost
a-
the opposite.
Yeah, he is a short, heavy-set man with a balding hairline.
Okay, just making sure.
I picture Uncle Vernon.
He might also look like the lawyer from the B movie.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, I know exactly what you mean.
So he just kind of sits back. Okay, so am I being hired to look into Dr. Trollope, or is this about information from a previous case?
We are hoping that you could
Yes.
give us some information about a Lawrence Bacon.
Well, normally I don't share information, privacy clauses,
I look at the doctor.
but I do work on retainer.
I think you're gonna have to give him some pounds.
Oh, I was already pulling out the wallet.
Okay.
I hand him 10 pounds to
Yeah.
start.
He looks at it. Hey, of course, this here is retainer fee for services to yet be rendered. See, pockets it.
Yes, I would like a full written array of your charges later for hourly rates.
But of course.
Don't even try and eat these apples.
All right.
No.
I can just
So-
imagine Lady Francesca take one look around this room and she's like, yeah, no, I can't fool you.
So, now that you are my clients, I am willing to share with you what I can.
Mm-hmm.
So, you mentioned this name, Lawrence Bacon. This is of importance?
The only thing we know so far is that he was partners, friends with Alexander Robbie in some fashion.
Okay.
We know that he's an antique dealer in Liverpool Road.
One moment here as he goes over to his filing cabinet.
Is it the one that he put the gin in?
He's only got 2 that are right there.
Okay.
But he opens up
Yeah.
that drawer.
Yeah, the gin drawer.
You just hear a little bit of this, you see him. And then he pulls out a file and shuts the drawer.
Okay.
Back over. Alright. Now. This case, as he dusts it off a
Get
little
your
bit,
face out of there.
and you can clearly see an R and a small O written on it. That's all that's on the front of the file.
R and O. Robbie. I don't know what the O would be.
I don't remember what.
You already have it, sir.
Oh, I do.
This is the file. Yes, for safety's sake and for your sake, when I write up your files, I always only write the first 2 initials of the last name, that I may look it up with ease and that anyone else may have
R.O.
issues.
Robbie. Okay. I was thinking R. Robbie. I'm like, what the fuck is the
Well-
O? Owen? Is there another guy involved? Oh my god.
No. Due to alphabetizing last names, when you have over 100 people with a last name starting with S, because S is a super common for words and last names, you will hate life unless you have.
Prescott.
He, you see him pull
My
out his
last
collar a
name
little
is a
bit,
set of 3 separate words.
loosen up his tie. You can
No,
see
you
the
haven't
little
told them.
phrase at the end of his collar and on his sleeve. So he starts looking through. Lawrence Bacon. Middle class, about 50 years old, 6 feet tall, graying hair, bearded, heavy build, and he's an antiques dealer.
Heavy, graying, not a sharp-faced, very tall man.
He's of a decent height, but not the right build.
There were some other people that I'll share with you. There was also a man that I located that associated with Mr. Alexander Robbie. There was a Malcolm Quarry who I've identified.
Malcolm Quarry.
Yes, Malcolm Quarry.
He mentioned
The
that in
playwright.
his ravings.
Why, yes.
Malcolm Quarry was the man who wrote Carcosa.
Or, no,
No, the play.
Talbot Estes.
Talbot Estes. Okay.
Malcolm Quarry. You might know Malcolm Quarry, but I wasn't sure if I gave you that information yet or not. Malcolm Quarry was 35, upper middle class, about 5'10", black hair, clean shaven, slim build, and a scientist. He works at the Royal Society in Piccadilly in the West End. And he lived at 12 Morton Street in Westminster.
Is that close to St. James Park?
No, it'd be a little ways away.
Okay.
Malcolm Quarry seemed to be the best of the group that Alexander Robbie had hung around. The most respectable, I would say.
What society was he a member of?
He worked at the Royal Society on Piccadilly in the West End. He seemed respectable and appeared to be unmarried. Never saw a ring on his finger. But there was one other. The other man that I saw, I could only ever identify him as Edwards.
That's creepy. Wait Aldi.
You know.
Just a guess.
He was about 40 years old, upper middle class, 5'8", and brown hair. Neat beard and mustache, average build. I could not figure out where he worked, though. He lived in short-term lodgings at 50 Berriman Road in Islington, further north from Bacon and just off from the Seven Sisters Road. He was often in a library, but didn't seem to go anywhere else apart from his visits with the other men. No wife or young lady. He did drive a car, though.
Did drive a car.
Yes.
Had some money of some kind.
And they would all gather together at Mr. Bacon's residence, 112 Liverpool Road in Islington.
Now, there's no mention of any woman or lady or girl?
Correct.
No, as far as I was aware, none of them seemed to have anyone in their lives.
Okay.
I know the feeling.
I
Love how offended you look.
Sorry, I spaced out for a minute.
Now, these were the only people that I saw Alexander communicate with.
This Malcolm Quarry, Edwards, and Lawrence Bacon.
Yes. There were other places that he would go, but the only other time he would leave the house, really, he would always go to the reading room in the British Museum in Bloomsbury. Now, he might have communicated with people there, but I couldn't quite say. I don't have myself a reader's ticket, so I was never able to enter there.
At the reader's room.
At the British Museum in Bloomsbury.
Sorry, I'm taking notes. Alright. Do you remember anything else about any of these gentlemen, especially Lawrence Bacon? Anything that stands out in memory, was odd in any way?
I mean, not that I could particularly. Not that I could remember. I'm sorry, but I am supposed to meet someone in the pub downstairs, so.
I understand, and we will go presently, I'm sorry. But if you are able to tell us, of course, wouldn't want you to break your client privilege, but I have to ask, would you be able to tell us possibly why it was that Graham Robbie hired you to first begin looking into his brother? What suspicions did he have? What exactly were you looking for? All of this was supposed to be before the murders, so what did he have you investigating?
How about we head downstairs for just a moment, if you wouldn't mind, please.
Yeah.
Is there an insight check or something?
I look over at
See
Len
if
and
he's
just like, yeah,
nervous or something?
give you that
A
look like if he
psychology
runs,
check,
stab
Sana.
him.
I will also try that.
Okay, give me a psychology check.
Trap. We're gonna get Tommy gun.
I'm not the worst at this, but I'm also not the best.
Could I make a luck roll to see if I've stolen a knife in the past week or whatever?
Sure. That's a big fat no.
Nah.
I have my pen.
Last bottle it is.
Yeah.
Yeah, stab him with your fist.
Sana,
I believe that's called a pudge. What?
did you make a psychology check?
Oh, right.
Yeah.
That's how it works.
I got a 72 out of 30. I did not make that.
I'll try it.
Just a second, please.
No worries.
Ooh. Got a success.
You got a success.
44 out of 60.
I'm gonna burn 8 luck to succeed as well.
I don't know where he is.
Hey, watch
Yeah.
out. There's
How much
a,
could you possibly have left?
I have
I
44 luck.
rolled a 13.
is that a success?
Yes.
Alright.
Is it a success? Good question. Psychology, you said.
Yes.
Yeah, I have a 40 in that, so that is a success.
Alright.
Take a shower.
So yes, you guys can tell that he's very nervous about something now. It seems like going into this case, his nerves are a bit rattled.
Did it seem like it happened after I asked that question, or since we brought up the Robbie case?
It kind of seemed to come on very suddenly here, just a few moments ago, but before he mentioned going downstairs.
So, what were we talking about before we went downstairs?
I was spacing out.
It would have been... Yeah, he was telling us about the group, just...
Yeah.
And how Alexander spent a lot of time at the British Museum.
Not a bad place.
So, like we...
No, you asked why his brother was looking into it, and then he started to get nervous.
No, according to the keeper, he started to get nervous just before that.
Oh. Yeah, the last man he mentioned, Edwards.
Actually,
Yeah,
it seemed to kind of come up after you asked him if there was anything strange about Lawrence Bacon.
Oh.
So, shall we go grab a seat at the Prince of Wales downstairs?
The
Yeah. See
Crimson
why not?
Wales, is that a pub?
Oh yeah.
The Prince of Wales.
Oh.
Crimson Wales sounds
The Crimson
better.
Wales sounds pretty cool too,
Yeah.
actually. Yeah.
I'd rather go there.
Yeah.
Well, is he buying, or is he just changing the location for scenery?
I think he's expecting us to pay his bar tab is what's about to happen.
I think,
If that's what he wants me to do for paying a retainer, I'd rather have him drink him than just wasting money elsewhere.
Oh no.
Right,
He's
so
inviting
maybe
us
we
to
could
the
just
pub.
use that.
He's paying.
Oh, this will be entertaining to watch.
He does have 10 pounds. We know that he does.
He is my entertainment.
So,
I will bite his face.
he hasn't mentioned anything about paying, nor has
Doesn't
he
have
mentioned
to.
anything about not paying.
I'll go anyway and order a water then.
Oh, I will buy you a drink.
It's
if you
good
care about
manners.
the drink.
If you're gonna invite someone to the pub when they don't fucking want to go there.
He goes right up to the bar and just makes a look at the bartender in this pretty seedy bar. And bartender just pours out one big pint for him, hands it down, he grabs it and just sits back at a table. He's just kind of blank staring at the table right now, pint in hand, and starts drinking.
Does he
I
look
go sit down
shell-shocked?
next to him.
Or war fatigue, or whatever they call it right now.
It would be shell-shocked.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, he's not looking good.
I know, shell
Tough
shock.
shit.
You guys,
Are you alright there, sir? You need a doctor? We got one right here.
I just need
Yes.
a few moments. As Lady Francesca and Darren, you two in particular, get a few looks from just other people in the bar. You're both a little nicely dressed for the company that's kept here.
I'm
Oh,
just
this
gonna
is
turn
my
and look at
kind of
them and
barn,
just like
so-
showcase the scars. I'm gonna make them want to look away.
Oh, I fit right in here.
I turn to Lennon and I'm just like, so many people are looking. I wonder if they've read my book.
Most in here probably can't read.
But yeah, you feel pretty welcome.
I'm gonna get a bottle from the barkeep.
Sets down a bottle.
Is it open?
Yep.
Oh, okay.
Well, you could break it open. Literally.
He just bites the top.
Just grabs it. It was very swift. He reached down, and you heard the as it cracked open underneath the counter.
And I will reach into my sock and pull a wadded pound and
Yeah, there you go. Pounds. Euros.
Sterling silver.
Yeah, it's still pounds over there.
Yeah.
Looks at it, looks at you, bites. Gives you
That was
a
it.
good nod. And
enjoy the athlete's foot in your mouth, asshole.
Yeah. Yeah, that's a no
you see him
biting.
smile, bunch of crooked teeth.
Ah.
I used to have a
England.
smile like that, and I lost them all.
Uh,
Yeah, and I'll sit down.
Mr.
Or-
Tuck, are you okay?
Just,
Yeah.
You're good.
I don't know what I'm doing.
just, what a moment. So he finishes this drink and goes and grabs another one, and he downs it very quickly this time.
I'll go and get him a
That better
third
mean
one so
how
he doesn't
he's,
have to get up and leave.
That better mean he's about to give us some information.
He then looks at you all and says, we can head back up now.
How about you tell us about Lawrence Bacon first?
Please, let's head back up and I will share what you want to know.
We
Don't
came
you
down
have
for
to
beer to
upstairs?
just go
Why'd
back
you
up.
have to come here
The
for
fuck?
a drink?
So who just left your office?
Ooh.
Nobody.
Is he bullshitting me?
Do a psychoanalysis, or
Could it-
psychology.
Could it be anything? Yeah, nope. I don't have enough luck to make that work.
You don't
Use
know if it's
intimidation, right?
BS.
I already passed the check, so I'm not gonna roll again.
I did earlier, but
Oh,
It's
you did?
different.
Okay.
Yeah, this is a different one.
Yeah.
uh-huh. Sure.
Can I try and pay attention
Are
to the room
listening
to see if
devices
anybody's
a
trying to
thing yet?
leave?
For the
Trying to
CIA.
leave right now.
Like, hastily, like they're trying to not be seen, but, you know, failing horribly, like most people that are trying to leave. Hastily.
Well, as you look around the
Is
room,
anyone
people
trying
are
to
just
pull a
mostly
Midwestern goodbye?
people are just kind of staring back at you.
Like the whole bar?
A lot of people, not everyone, but a lot of people.
That kind of thing where like the door opens and the whole bar is just like
Piano style.
As
Chess music
As-
stops.
Vincent Tuck just starts walking.
I stay close to him.
Mm.
This motherfucker's gonna run.
Yeah,
I'm
this
gonna try
doesn't
and
seem
catch
like
him.
a great place to be by yourself.
He waddles right back upstairs, gets to his desk. He has that folder in front of him.
Fucking shoots himself.
Mm.
He opens up the folder, then you see him lift a piece of the folder that was folded in. Very odd. As he just pulls out a piece of paper. He walks right back over, puts the rest of the file away. He pulls out that bottle of gin and he sits right back down at his desk.
At 3 o'clock in the morning, a man left 112 Liverpool Road, number 1. Full moon and visibility good. First time I had seen him, but knew him as Lawrence Bacon from descriptions from the neighbors. A broad man, well over 6 feet tall, with graying hair and a full beard. He walked via Liverpool Road and Copenhagen Street to the Regent's Canal, taking a near towpath to go north. After a bit, he went slower, looking in alleys and doorways by the light of an electric torch. Finally, he stopped before a sleeping tramp. I was 50 yards away. He lifted his arms, and suddenly I heard from all over a whistling noise. The tramp screamed on and on, but Bacon never touched him. Then both noises stopped. Bacon squatted down and then turned and came back past me. I let him go and went over to the place where he had stood. There was a body there, a man, I think. The arms were held up to protect it, and the face was frozen in fear, mouth open. Poor Sod died in terror and pain. I would think Bacon had killed him, but if he did, he must be a black magician or something, as the corpse was as dry as dust.
Wait, like this body just materialized?
I think it just meant it was desiccated.
That is not.
Completely.
Like Mansquito.
Pours himself a shot and kicks back the gin. Not a week
The
goes by.
whistling sound, is this something we've heard before or mentioned?
Not that you have heard at this point, no.
Intriguing.
There's not a week goes by when I haven't had this nightmare. Sometimes I even wake up the missus. Just stood there and watched.
Now, was there any blood at the scene?
No.
Oh. Were there any wounds on the body?
No.
Isn't that different than what we've heard previously? Weren't there wounds on
Yes.
Well, there was a
previous one?
stab wound and
the first and then
on Dr. Trollope, and the other ones looked like they'd been pulled to pieces
Slashed or
or
something,
slashed up
yeah.
really bad.
Mm-hmm.
Even the murder at the asylum, someone apparently, was brutally,
There was a
slashed
lot
up.
of blood involved at least.
In a bloody uniform with no body.
And this had no blood at all.
No, this is something completely different. But
Or this is what is trying to be replicated.
Now, you describe a whistling sound.
When
Do you mean
was
just
that
like
one?
a person whistling, or
Like-
something different, like a flute, or
Like
a
a-
bell,
train
A
whistle?
high
or like a train
pitched,
whistle?
as if high pitched, as if coming from a whistle. Like what a constable would wear, but different, deeper almost, a smoother sound.
deeper and smoother.
Like a hum?
No, it was certainly a whistle.
Okay.
But
If nothing else, it tells us that this Lawrence Bacon is dangerous. It's probably a good thing that we didn't just go straight over there.
because wasn't one of the victims from Robbie, wasn't it drained
One of them
more
yes.
than a normal bleed out?
I think the father had been
No dying.
drained,
Yeah, but could you have a
but he was still
strange neck?
Yeah.
but he was still
Strange wound.
slashed up though.
What I'm saying is that
No, that was the sister. The sister was slashed up. The father had the strange neck wound and was completely devoid of blood.
Yep.
which that's weird, and for it to happen so similarly.
Very quickly though. That's the part that's.
Well, we don't know how the Robbie one went. That one could have been quick here. Like I said, whatever this guy did, if
Caramel did
Robbie
was really
tried
good.
it, then he just may not have it the way this one does. And the sister could have walked in while it was happening. That's why that one was
So brutal.
typical. Yeah. A typical murder.
Oh.
That's
I
just
don't
a thought.
understand why Robbie would claim he committed the murders.
Maybe he did.
It's possible he did.
Maybe he just didn't have a weapon.
Or this is some sort of cult and Robbie's a fall guy. You see that all the time.
Oh, that's possible.
Ringleader, and Robbie was an underling.
Either way, it's a good thing that we didn't go knock on Mr. Bacon's door and inform him, hey, we are investigating these murders and your name came up.
Thought we were just going antiquing.
Yeah, catch the red bullet with that one.
I mean, I might agree that I'm antiquing.
Oh, I'm taking some.
You're an antique.
Relics, I need to.
I want to say I have a good patina, but that's not true.
Well,
Thank you for this information.
he can't know we were here.
Mr. Tuck, I would be
Jesus
very careful in the
Christ.
next couple of days. We don't know if whatever happened to Dr. Trollope is a coincidence
Oh, he was stabbed.
or
Yeah, that's what I was
Yeah, I
talking
mean-
Oh,
about.
yeah, sure.
I don't know if it's all connected. It could have just been a robbing gone wrong, but I doubt it.
I don't think it was a robbing gone wrong. Seeing as how
Yeah.
Dr. Trollope had a vision predicting his manner of death down to the exact detail.
Okay, what I'm trying to warn Mr. Tuck about is keep your eye out and get your weapons even closer.
I wouldn't trust this man with a weapon. I've been sober in months.
I've been far removed from this case and hope that there will be a day that I don't recall it.
But it is not this day.
There are better ways than alcohol.
Enough blunt force trauma can do it.
That's called death.
Well, you're not wrong, but, you know, there's some side effects to that.
Yeah.
Not for me.
Oh, goodness.
Well,
Is there anything else? I have nothing else on this one.
I think you've been most helpful, Mr. Tuck. Thank you. I'm sorry to bring back such unpleasant memories.
Not a week goes by, I don't recall this.
Well, Godspeed, sir.
King's speech.
God save the king.
I was just gonna say, may the king be with you.
Pours a shot to little Lizzie.
Is that worse now? Since,
I kill him. No.
yeah.
Alright then. Antiquing it is.
I suppose so.
So,
Should we
this
try
guy
and find?
can just kill people through magical means, and we might need a plan
Just
Real-
need a
for
priest.
talking to him.
Before we go and see him, who seems dangerous, should we go and try and find the paper boy who would have overseen all of this? Very pale faced.
Find a random paper boy in St. James Park.
I mean,
Sounds like a hunt for Jeffrey.
Jeffrey.
Yep, there it is.
if
I apologize,
he has
that is
his
my
own.
fault.
You're welcome.
Jeffrey is my fault.
Yeah.
He made a impromptu,
Oh, no.
didn't know what to do quest for a D&D session we had way before, you guys, you joined the party and were a part of it. And we were supposed to find this little kid named Jeffrey. So Greg just ran up to every fucking child in the street, grabbed them, and were like, "Are you Jeffrey? Are you Jeffrey?"
Like Silver Street, not 10th Street, Silver Street, where the people care if
And
you're
we got
fucking with
arrested and told not to go near children.
It was the only
my.
thing that I actually felt confident in doing after that. But yeah, no, they're harassing children. I know how to handle this.
All right, and I just want to check before we continue. I know we were looking to kind of change up times, but we started late. You you guys want to keep going as it is 8 o'clock?
That's true.
That is up to side.
And kind of Logan as well, since he'll be working.
Fuck Logan.
What? That's just mean.
Yeah,
Love you, bye.
this is what you get for working third shift.
Next time I might just mute him the whole time.
I promise next time I'm gonna be on time.
You're good.
I looked at my clock 20 minutes before my alarm went off, and then I closed my eyes, and the next thing I knew it was 1 o'clock, and I'm like, what happened?
You got some sleep is what I
I tried to call you a few times and you just didn't answer. And I was just like, ooh, I think she's probably out for the count.
I was, but then I woke with a start, and I'm like, what time is it?
No worries at all. So yeah, it's up to everyone. We can continue or we can stop right now.
This is a decent point to stop. We just finished talking to this man. We're about to make a plan to go speak to the next one. So
level up, right?
it's not a
We're gonna
bad.
have to fight a wizard.
Organically, it's not a bad point
This
to.
is clearly
to
a warlock, Logan. Get
I
your
believe
shit
you
together.
call them witch doctors
This is a
nowadays.
Oh, yeah,
shit.
witch
Throw
doctor.
things together. It's way more warlock than
You
wizard.
cast wither on that lady is what it sounded like.
Yeah.
Fucking.
See, if we were in America, we could just all go to the hardware store and buy a handgun. But we're
This is
in
America.
fucking
We
London.
wouldn't
We
need to
can't
go to
do
the hardware
that.
store.
Are you sure you can?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know. It's 1928. I don't know.
That's all you need.
Yeah. Their cops don't carry firearms.
Yeah.
Anything.
They have whistles. Respect the power of the whistle.
We could pick up some billy clubs. Although I do.
I'm gonna go get a whistle.
I have a bottle.
That you didn't have to pay for. I noticed.
Yeah, that is true. He never handed over
Oh.
anything past a coin.
The bartenders saw that big
Actually,
motherfucker and was just
I
like,
have a
no, you just
question.
get it.
Yes.
My best skill is
The local
intimidation.
morgue, is that
85.
something we can just visit, or do we need like special connections and shit before we can go there?
Oh, we can visit.
Depends on what exactly you're trying to do.
Just hang out.
I mean,
We're gonna claim we're family.
you could probably get yourself into the morgue where they're actually doing the work, though. They'll probably not let you back there unless you have a reason.
Me.
Because I want to.
Well,
I can pick
I
locks.
want to ask the people that work there if they've had an increase of desiccated hobos coming through.
Why specifically hobos?
Who else are you gonna kill in the
Do you
street?
think the hobos are being taken to the morgue?
I mean, I don't know what happens in their
You
You
time.
put in a
maybe.
ditch.
They're being
Yeah,
put
this is
straight
weird.
into the Thames.
Yeah, just like kick, have fun.
It's called Soylent Green.
Oh my god.
Maybe
All
we
I
should
can
talk
hear
to
is
the local
Futurama.
vagabonds then.
What do you want to know?
Yeah, you got one in your group.
Recently.
Yeah, I could talk to my people.
Yeah, the sound of whistling and their friends disappearing is.
Well, that's just cops in general.
We've already established the constables have whistles.
Yeah.
Whistle, and one gets taken away? Yep, that was probably Fred. I heard he stabbed somebody last night for a block of cheese.
But a whole block of cheese.
Yeah, but
I'd
did we
stab
get the
someone.
whole block of cheese?
I don't know, constable's got him.
So,
Probably
yeah.
strung him up in the Tower of London right now.
Lucky bastard, he's got a roof over his head. But yeah. So, same time 2
So
weeks?
this is the guy who got strung up with Lucky?
Yeah. You ever been down on your luck, huh? When you're not shitting on somebody?
Literally?
I'm getting.
Yeah. That's what I thought.
Alright, I think this is a good spot to pick up next time though.
Yeah.
Alright.
Agreed.
Sounds good. Well, in that case, we will end our call with Cthulhu. And if he calls again before 2 weeks, we'll certainly send him to voicemail.
Yeah.
Don't want to talk to him too much.
That's dumb. You're dumb.
I try to be.
Oh my god.